The harsh clang of the diner's doorbell was the closest thing to peace that Noah Adams had heard all day. As he slouched into the vinyl booth, exhaustion seeped from every pore in his body, a familiar feeling for a single dad working 2 jobs. His calloused hands, still grimy from his shift at the construction site, cupped a steaming mug of coffee like it contained liquid salvation. "Daddy, can I have chocolate chip pancakes? You promised last time." 7-year-old Lily bounced on the bench across from him, her blonde pigtails swinging with each movement. Despite her energy, Noah could see the shadows under her eyes, a mirror of his own fatigue. "Pumpkin, it's almost dinner time. How about we save pancakes for another morning?" Noah tried to reason, mentally calculating how much overtime he'd need to work to cover next month's rent increase. The apartment complex's new management had raised it by 15%, and his carefully balanced financial house of cards was threatening to collapse. "But you promised," Lily pouted, her small fingers tracing patterns on the worn laminate tabletop. Noah sighed, his resolve crumbling like the ancient cornbread the diner served on Sundays. "One small order, and you have to eat some protein too, deal." Lily's face lit up with a smile that made the extra $4.99 worth every penny. Noah would eat less himself this week. It wouldn't be the first time. Pancakes for the princess, I'm guessing. Marge, the 60-something waitress who'd been serving at Sunshine Diner since Noah himself was a kid, appeared with her order pad. Her crow's feet deepened as she winked at Lily. "You know us too well," Noah admitted with a tired smile. "And for you, handsome?" Marge asked, pencil poised. "Just the coffee for now, thanks." Marge's eyes narrowed slightly, but she didn't push. After 7 years of serving the Adams family, she knew when Noah was stretching his dollars. As Marge walked away, Noah pulled out a crumpled sheet of paper from his jacket, pocket his monthly budget, revised for the 4th time that week. Between Lily's school supplies, the rent hike, and the unexpected dentist bill from last month, the numbers refused to cooperate no matter how many times he reworked them. "Why are you making that face, Daddy?" Lily asked, looking up from her coloring sheet. Noah smoothed his expression. "Just thinking about boring grown-up stuff, sweetie." "Is it about money again?" Her innocent question struck him like a physical blow. 7 was too young to understand financial insecurity, but kids were perceptive. He hated that she'd picked up on his stress. "Don't you worry about that," he said, reaching across to tap her nose gently. "Daddy's got everything under control." The lie tasted bitter, but Noah would protect her childhood at all costs. That's what being a father meant, sheltering her from the harsh realities he faced every day since Emma had walked out when Lily was barely 2. The bell above the door jingled again, and Noah glanced up automatically. A woman entered, shaking rain from an umbrella he hadn't realized was necessary. The weather had turned while they'd been inside. Great, they'd get soaked on the walk home because he couldn't afford to fix the car this month. The woman chose the booth adjacent to theirs, sliding in gracefully despite her obviously expensive clothing. Something about her seemed out of place in the humble diner, perhaps the subtle shine of her watch or the quality of her tailored blazer. Not flashy, but undeniably high-end. Noah returned to his budget, crossing out new shoes for Lily and writing repair old ones instead. The construction company had cut back hours with winter approaching, and his night job stocking shelves at the supermarket barely made up the difference. "Excuse me," a gentle voice interrupted his calculations. The woman from the next booth was standing beside their table, an apologetic smile on her face. "I seem to have forgotten my reading glasses. Would you happen to have a pen I could borrow? The waitress is busy, and I need to check some numbers." Noah nodded, retrieving the chewed-up ballpoint from his pocket. "It's not fancy, but it works." "Perfect, thank you." She accepted it with a grateful nod. Up close, Noah couldn't help but notice her warm brown eyes, intelligent and kind behind a sweep of auburn hair. She was beautiful in an understated way, no excessive makeup or jewelry, just a natural elegance that made him acutely aware of his work-worn appearance and the coffee stain on his faded flannel shirt. "I'm Lily," his daughter piped up, never one to miss an opportunity for conversation. "I'm 7. Do you like pancakes? The woman's face transformed with delight. I'm Rachel. And yes, I absolutely love pancakes. Are you having some tonight? Chocolate chip ones. Daddy said I could because he promised last time but forgot. Noah felt heat rise to his cheeks. I didn't exactly forget. Daddy works a lot, Lily continued matter-of-factly. Sometimes he forgets things because his brain is too full of important stuff. Rachel's gaze shifted to Noah, something unreadable flickering across her expression. Important stuff is definitely brain-filling. I understand that completely. You can join us if you want, Lily offered, ignoring Noah's look of surprise. Daddy says it's sad to eat alone. Lily, Noah began, embarrassed by his daughter's forthrightness, Miss Rachel probably wants to enjoy her meal in peace. Rachel Jensen had walked into Sunshine Diner seeking exactly that peace and anonymity. After a grueling day of meetings where everyone wanted something from her, she'd driven 40 minutes away from her corporate headquarters, deliberately seeking somewhere nobody would recognize her as the CEO of Jensen Innovations. The last thing she'd expected was an invitation from a 7-year-old with the most disarming smile she'd seen in years. Actually, Rachel found herself saying, I'd love to join you if your dad doesn't mind. Noah looked caught off guard but recovered quickly. Of course, please have a seat. Rachel slid into the booth beside Lily, who immediately showed her the half-completed coloring page. I'm making this dinosaur purple because nobody knows what color dinosaurs really were, so they could totally be purple. That's excellent scientific thinking, Rachel responded seriously. I believe in questioning assumptions too. Noah's eyebrows raised slightly, impressed by her response to Lily's chatter. Marge returned, raising an eyebrow at their rearrangement but taking it in stride. Ready to order, Han? She asked Rachel. I'll have what she's having, Rachel gestured toward Lily. Chocolate chip pancakes sound perfect. And for you, Noah, Marge prompted again, giving him a pointed look. Before Noah could decline, Rachel spoke up. I've heard diners have the best burgers. What do you recommend? Noah hesitated, the internal calculator running rapidly. Reading his expression perfectly, Rachel continued. I insist on treating since I interrupted your evening. Please, order whatever looks good. Pride warred with practicality on Noah's face. Rachel recognized that battle she'd seen it on her father's face years ago when they'd struggled to make ends meet, before her first software patent had changed everything. The bacon cheeseburger with sweet potato fries is pretty amazing, Noah finally admitted. But you don't have to. I'd like 2 bacon cheeseburgers then, Rachel told Marge. I'm starving after the day I've had. Marge nodded approvingly as she wrote down the order and walked away. So, Noah asked, folding his budget paper and tucking it away, what brings you to Sunshine Diner? I don't think I've seen you here before, and it's not exactly a tourist destination. Rachel considered her answer carefully. Sometimes I like exploring new places. My job involves a lot of sameness. The same restaurants, the same people. I was driving through and this place looked genuine. It is that, Noah agreed with a chuckle. Genuine grease stains and all. Been here since before I was born. Did you grow up in Millfield? Rachel asked, genuinely curious about this man whose tired eyes still managed to crinkle warmly when he looked at his daughter, born and raised. Left for college on a baseball scholarship, but came back when? He glanced at Lily, who was absorbed in her coloring when circumstances changed. It's a good place to raise a family, Rachel nodded, understanding the unspoken parts of his story. I grew up in a small town too, about 2 hours from here. Couldn't wait to escape when I was younger. Now I sometimes miss the simplicity. Simple doesn't always mean easy, Noah remarked, absently rubbing his work-roughened hands. The observation struck Rachel as profoundly true. Her life was complicated in different ways: board meetings, investment decisions, the constant pressure of thousands of employees depending on her leadership. But she had resources to manage those complications. Looking at Noah's tired eyes and the careful way he'd ordered only coffee initially, she understood that simple could be incredibly difficult. Their food arrived, and Rachel watched with amusement as Lily meticulously arranged her pancakes to create a smiley face with the chocolate chips. You have to make it pretty before you eat it, Lily explained seriously. Food tastes better when it's happy. Noah laughed a genuine, unguarded sound that transformed his face completely. The weariness fell away, revealing a handsome man probably in his early 30s, with laugh lines that spoke of joy despite hardship. She gets these theories from nowhere, he explained to Rachel. Last week, she insisted that shoes need to rest between wearings so they can remember your feet better. Makes perfect sense to me, Rachel replied, arranging her own pancakes into a face. I think we adults forget to see the logic in imagination. Noah's expression softened as he watched Rachel engage with his daughter. Something passed between them, an acknowledgement of Lily's whimsical wisdom that felt like a shared secret. As they ate, the conversation flowed naturally. Rachel carefully steered questions away from her career, instead asking about Lily's school and Noah's interests. She learned he coached Little League despite his punishing work schedule, was renovating their small apartment room by room with salvaged materials, and could name every constellation visible in the Northern Hemisphere. Daddy knows everything about stars, Lily announced proudly. We go camping sometimes, and he teaches me all their names. Show her your star app, Daddy. Noah reluctantly pulled out his phone, an older model with a cracked screen, and opened an astronomy application. It's nothing fancy, but it helps identify what we're looking at. My mom left when I was little, Lily suddenly volunteered, the non sequitur catching both adults off guard. But Daddy says that's okay because we can still see the same stars even when people are far away. Rachel's heart tightened at the child's matter-of-fact statement. Noah's face flushed with a mixture of embarrassment and sadness. Sometimes people aren't meant to stay in our lives forever, sweetheart, Rachel said gently, her eyes meeting Noah's over Lily's head, but they leave important gifts behind. She smiled at Lily. Like you. Noah's expression changed, gratitude replacing discomfort. That's exactly right, he agreed softly. After finishing their meals, Noah excused himself to take Lily to the restroom. Rachel used the moment alone to leave a generous tip for Marge before paying their bill at the counter. She'd just returned to the table when Noah and Lily returned. Ready to head home, pumpkin? Noah asked Lily, reaching for his wallet. I've already settled up, Rachel said. Please, I insisted on joining you, it was my treat. Noah looked uncomfortable. That's really not necessary. I can't consider it payment for the good company, Rachel interrupted gently. I was going to eat alone, and instead I had a lovely evening with interesting people. That's worth more than a few burgers. Something in her tone must have convinced him, because Noah nodded reluctantly. Thank you. That's very kind. As they walked toward the door, Rachel noticed the rain had intensified into a genuine downpour. Noah's face fell as he peered outside. Did you walk here? Rachel asked, already knowing the answer. It's not far, Noah replied, zipping up Lily's jacket and pulling the hood over her head. We'll make a run for it. Rachel made a split-second decision. I have my car, let me give you a ride home. Noah started to refuse, but a crack of thunder changed his mind. If you're sure it's no trouble. It's just a few blocks. Rachel led them to her vehicle, a modest sedan, rather than the luxury car she usually drove. She'd learned years ago that her Range Rover attracted too much attention in certain settings. Noah helped Lily into the backseat, buckling her in carefully before joining Rachel in the front. Left at the light, then 3 blocks down, he directed, clearly uncomfortable being driven but practical enough to accept the help for Lily's sake. As Rachel navigated the rain-slicked streets, she found herself reluctant for the evening to end. There was something about Noah Adams that intrigued her, his obvious devotion to his daughter, his quiet dignity despite circumstances that were clearly challenging, the intelligence and humor that peeked through his reserved exterior. That's us, the blue building, Noah pointed to a small apartment complex that had seen better days. Rachel pulled up as close to the entrance as possible. Thank you again for dinner and the ride, Noah said sincerely. It was unexpected but nice. Can Rachel come see our apartment? Lily asked from the backseat. I want to show her my star chart. Lily, it's getting late and Rachel probably needs to get home, Noah replied quickly. Remember what we said about not imposing on people's time. It's really no imposition, Rachel found herself saying. But only if you're comfortable with it. I'd love to see this star chart. Noah hesitated, and Rachel immediately understood his reluctance. He was embarrassed about his living situation. But I completely understand if it's not convenient, she added, offering him an easy exit. No, please come up if you'd like, Noah decided. It's nothing fancy. I don't need fancy, Rachel said truthfully. I'd just like to see Lily's chart. They dashed through the rain to the building's entrance, where Noah unlocked a security door that had clearly been repaired multiple times. The elevator had an out-of-order sign taped to it, so they climbed 3 flights of stairs to reach Noah's apartment. Inside, Rachel was struck by how homey the small space felt despite its obvious limitations. The furniture was mismatched but clean, and clever organizational systems maximized the limited space. Most striking were the walls covered with framed drawings, presumably Lily's artwork, displayed with the reverence another home might reserve for expensive paintings. Daddy built all the shelves, Lily announced proudly, pulling Rachel toward a handcrafted bookcase that spanned one wall. And he painted my room like the galaxy. May I see? Rachel asked, looking to Noah for permission. He nodded, and Lily eagerly led Rachel to a small bedroom where the walls and ceiling had been transformed into a surprisingly accurate depiction of the night sky, complete with constellations marked in glow in the dark paint. Daddy did it all himself, Lily explained. He studied pictures from NASA. Look, there's Cassiopeia, and that's Orion's belt, and over there is the Big Dipper. Rachel turned slowly, genuinely impressed by the artistry. This is remarkable, Noah. You're very talented. Noah leaned against the doorframe, embarrassment and pride warring on his face. Art minor in college, doesn't pay the bills, but it makes bedtime more interesting. The best things rarely appear on balance sheets, Rachel replied softly. Lily retrieved her star chart, a meticulously kept record of constellations she'd identified with her father's help. As she explained each entry to Rachel with the seriousness of a university professor, Rachel found herself wondering about this little family story. After Lily's enthusiastic tour concluded, Noah checked his watch. All right, star professor, it's getting late. Time to get ready for bed. Lily pouted but didn't argue. Will you read me a story? Always, Noah promised. Why don't you get your pajamas on while I walk Rachel out? After Lily hugged Rachel goodnight, a spontaneous gesture that warmed her heart, Noah walked her to the door. Thank you for humoring her, he said, running a hand through his hair self-consciously. She doesn't get many visitors to show off to. It was my pleasure, truly, Rachel replied. She's a remarkable child. You're doing an amazing job with her. Noah's expression softened. I try. Sometimes I worry it's not enough, that I should be able to give her more, but we make do. What you're giving her can't be bought, Rachel said earnestly. That's clear from spending just one evening with you both. A moment of silence stretched between them, filled with unspoken thoughts. Rachel found herself reluctant to leave, aware that returning to this particular diner might not yield the same chance encounter again. I know this might seem forward, she began carefully, but I'd like to see you again, both of you, if you're comfortable with that. Noah looked genuinely surprised. You would? Rachel smiled. Is that so hard to believe, honestly? Yes, Noah's frankness was refreshing. You're clearly. Well, from a different world than ours. And very beautiful, he added, then looked embarrassed at his directness. Different worlds can overlap, Rachel replied, feeling a flutter at his compliment. She reached into her purse and retrieved a business card, a simple one with just her personal number, not her corporate information. If you'd like to get together again, call me. No pressure. Noah accepted the card, looking down at it before carefully tucking it into his pocket. Thank you. For everything tonight. Rachel hesitated at the door. The rain stopped. I should get going so you can get Lily to bed. Right, Noah nodded, but neither moved immediately. Good night, Noah, Rachel finally said, stepping into the hallway. Good night, Rachel, he replied, her name sounding different in his voice, somehow more meaningful. As she drove home that night, Rachel found herself thinking about Noah's laugh when Lily had made her pancake face, about his skilled hands that had created a universe on his daughter's bedroom walls, about the quiet dignity with which he faced challenges she could only imagine. For the first time in years, Rachel felt a genuine connection, one based not on what she could provide professionally or financially, but simply on who she was as a person. It was refreshing, exciting, and terrifying all at once. 3 days passed before Noah found the courage to call. He'd rehearsed what to say a dozen times, talked himself out of calling entirely twice, and finally dialed the number on Rachel's card during his lunch break at the construction site. "Hello." Her voice sounded different over the phone, but still made his heart rate increase. "Rachel, this is Noah." "Noah Adams, from the diner the other night." "Noah," she replied, and he could hear the smile in her voice. "I'm glad you called. I was wondering if maybe you'd like to get together again, maybe this weekend. Lily has a little league game on Saturday morning if you'd like to come." It's nothing fancy, just kids running around more than actually playing baseball, but he was rambling and forced himself to stop. "I'd love to," Rachel said without hesitation. "What time?" As Noah gave her the details, a weight lifted from his shoulders. He'd been second-guessing himself since the night at the diner, wondering if Rachel had just been being kind to a struggling father and his daughter. Her enthusiasm suggested otherwise. Saturday dawned clear and crisp, perfect baseball weather. Noah arrived early to help set up the field, Lily bouncing excitedly beside him in her too big team uniform. "Do you think Rachel will really come?" Lily asked for the third time that morning. "She said she would," Noah replied, trying to temper both their expectations. "But if something comes up, we'll understand, right?" Lily nodded, but her eyes kept drifting to the parking lot, watching for new arrivals. 20 minutes before game time, a now familiar figure appeared walking toward the field. Rachel had dressed casually in jeans and a light sweater, her hair pulled back in a simple ponytail. She waved when she spotted them, and Lily immediately ran to greet her. "You came. Do you want to sit with Daddy?" "He's the assistant coach, so he has to stay by the bench, but you can sit on the bleachers with the other parents if you want. I'm playing second base today." Rachel laughed at Lily's enthusiasm. "I wouldn't miss it, and I'd love to sit with your dad if that's allowed." Noah felt a surge of something warm and unfamiliar as Rachel approached. "Thanks for coming," he said, suddenly aware of his worn baseball cap and faded team shirt. "Thanks for inviting me," she replied, her eyes meeting his with genuine warmth. The game was predictably chaotic. 7-year-olds were not known for their athletic precision, but Rachel cheered enthusiastically for every child, not just Lily. Between innings, she and Noah talked easily, finding common ground in their small-town upbringings and shared love of astronomy. "My father used to take me stargazing too," Rachel confided. "After my mother died when I was 12, it became our special thing. He said she was among the stars now, watching over us." Noah's expression softened with understanding. "That's beautiful." I tell Lily something similar about her grandparents. After the game, which ended in a tie because the coaches decided ice cream was more important than extra innings, Noah invited Rachel to join them for the team's traditional post-game treat. "Are you sure I wouldn't be intruding on team time?" Rachel asked. "The more the merrier," Noah assured her. "Besides, Lily would be disappointed if you didn't come." At the ice cream parlor, Rachel sat across from Noah while Lily and her teammates created elaborate sundaes at the toppings bar. Their knees occasionally brushed under the small table, sending unexpected shivers through Noah each time. "I have a confession," Rachel said suddenly, her expression turning serious. Noah's stomach tightened. Here it comes, he thought. The revelation that this was just a one-time thing, that their worlds were too different. "I wasn't completely honest about who I am," Rachel continued, her voice low enough that only he could hear. "What do you mean?" Noah asked cautiously. Rachel took a deep breath. "My full name is Rachel Jensen, of Jensen Innovations." Noah's brow furrowed in confusion, then cleared as recognition dawned. "The tech company, the one that makes the software systems, yes, among other things," Rachel confirmed. "I'm the CEO." Noah sat back, processing this information. Jensen Innovations was a multi-billion-dollar company with headquarters in the neighboring city. He'd read about them in the business section of the newspaper. "Why tell me this now?" he asked finally, Rachel's fingers twisted nervously around her napkin. "Because I like you, Noah, both of you." And I don't want to build anything on half-truths. My experience is that people treat me differently when they know about my financial situation. I didn't want that to color your perception of me before you got to know me as just Rachel. Noah was quiet for a long moment. Does it matter to you that I'm a construction worker who moonlights stocking groceries just to make rent? Only in that I admire your work ethic and dedication to your daughter, Rachel answered without hesitation. Then why would it matter to me that you're successful? Noah asked simply. Rachel's expression cleared, relief evident in her eyes. It shouldn't, but in my experience it often does. I'm not interested in your bank account, Rachel, Noah said firmly. I'm interested in the woman who colored pancakes with my daughter and appreciated her star chart and laughs at my terrible baseball coaching. The tension visibly drained from Rachel's shoulders. Thank you for that. No thanks necessary, just honesty moving forward. Deal, Rachel agreed, and their hands found each other across the table, fingers intertwining naturally. Over the following weeks, Rachel became a regular fixture in Noah and Lily's life. She joined them for dinner at their apartment, helped Lily with her science projects, and even convinced Noah to take a Saturday off so they could all go hiking at a nearby state park. For her part, Rachel gradually introduced them to her world as well. She invited them to her house, a beautiful but not ostentatious home outside the city, where Lily was delighted by the indoor swimming pool, and Noah was impressed by Rachel's extensive library. Most people expect something more mansion-like, Rachel admitted as she showed Noah around. But I grew up without much. This feels like enough. It's lovely, Noah said honestly, but I think you'd make anywhere feel like home. Their relationship deepened naturally, built on mutual respect and growing affection. Rachel never made Noah feel inadequate about his financial situation, and he never made her feel that her success was a barrier between them. 3 months after their chance meeting at the diner, Noah finally found the courage to kiss Rachel goodnight after she'd helped him put an exhausted Lily to bed following a day at the zoo. The kiss was tentative at first, then deepened as Rachel wound her arms around his neck. I've been wanting to do that for a while, Noah confessed when they finally broke apart. What took you so long? Rachel asked with a smile, pulling him closer for a second kiss. As spring turned to summer, their relationship blossomed. Rachel helped Noah navigate a difficult situation when the construction company downsized, not by offering money, which she knew would hurt his pride, but by connecting him with her company's facilities director, who needed skilled workers for a renovation project. The new position paid better and offered more consistent hours, allowing Noah to quit his second job. For Father's Day, Rachel and Lily conspired to surprise Noah with a telescope, not an extravagant model, but one that would allow them to explore the night sky together in greater detail. The gift brought tears to Noah's eyes, not because of its value but because of the thought behind it. You remember everything I tell you, he said to Rachel that night as they stood on her back deck, gazing at the stars while Lily slept inside. That's what you do when you love someone, Rachel replied simply, then froze, realizing what she'd said. Noah turned to her, his expression serious. Is that what this is? Love? Rachel nodded slowly. For me, yes, I love you, Noah Adams. I love your integrity, your dedication to Lily, your patience, your creativity. I love how you see beauty in simple things and how you never take anything for granted. I love how you've taught me to slow down and appreciate what matters. Noah pulled her into his arms. I love you too, Rachel. More than I thought possible. You've brought so much joy and light into our lives, not because of what you can give us, but because of who you are. Their kiss under the starlight sealed a promise of a future together, one built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine love. That September, on Lily's 8th birthday, Noah proposed to Rachel during a small celebration at their favorite place, Sunshine Diner. Kneeling beside the booth where they'd first met, he offered her a modest ring that had belonged to his grandmother. It's not fancy, he began. I don't need fancy, Rachel interrupted, tears streaming down her face. I just need you. Is that a yes? Noah asked, his heart pounding. Yes, Rachel exclaimed, pulling him up for a kiss while Lily clapped excitedly. Does this mean Rachel will be my mom? Lily asked as they celebrated with milkshakes. Would you like that, pumpkin? Noah asked carefully. Lily nodded enthusiastically. I already told my friends at school that she is. I hope that's okay. Rachel's eyes filled with tears as she hugged Lily close. That's more than okay. That's perfect. They were married the following spring in a simple ceremony in the park where they'd had their first official date. Lily served as flower girl and ring bearer, proudly walking down the aisle in a dress she'd helped design. During their vows, Noah spoke of second chances and unexpected blessings, while Rachel talked about finding home in the people you love rather than the places you live. There wasn't a dry eye among their guests. 2 years after their wedding, they welcomed twins, a boy and a girl, who inherited their mother's auburn hair and their father's inquisitive eyes. Lily took to big sisterhood with characteristic enthusiasm, helping create star charts for the baby's nursery and reading them stories about the constellations. The family divided their time between Rachel's house and a new, more comfortable home they purchased in Millfield, close to Lily's school and Noah's parents. Rachel adjusted her work schedule to balance family time with her corporate responsibilities, often bringing the twins to the office where they charmed everyone from the janitorial staff to board members. Noah continued to work in construction, eventually starting his own renovation company that specialized in affordable housing improvements. His artistic talents found expression in custom design elements that made each project unique, while Rachel's business acumen helped the company grow steadily. On the 5th anniversary of their meeting at Sunshine Diner, Noah surprised Rachel by reserving the entire restaurant for a special dinner. They sat in the same booth where they'd first talked, now with 11-year-old Lily and the 2-year-old twins occupying the adjacent table under the watchful eye of Noah's parents. Did you ever imagine this would be our life when you walked into this diner that rainy night? Noah asked, holding Rachel's hand across the table. Rachel shook her head, smiling. I came in looking for anonymity and a quiet meal. Instead, I found a family and the love of my life. And I was just trying to stretch my budget for one more week, Noah admitted. Instead, I found riches I never dreamed of. The best kind of wealth, Rachel agreed, leaning across to kiss him, is measured in moments like these. As they shared a plate of chocolate chip pancakes, still Lily's favorite after all these years, they marveled at how a chance encounter had changed the course of their lives. A single dad with calloused hands and a millionaire CEO with a lonely heart had found in each other exactly what they needed, proving once again that love recognizes no boundaries of circumstance when hearts are open to its possibilities.